Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree? You are knowing what you are wanting. It is an expanding thing, yes. And that's good, yes. Do you like the sensation of finding another new idea of desire? So that expansion feels good, yes. Do you like the idea of life giving you yet another idea of desire before you've caught up with it? In other words, you know those things that you know you want, but you have no sense of how they will come about. You can't see the plan of unfolding. You just know you want it, but when you look at the current reality, it's not there yet. How do you like that? Well, that's the part we want you to like too. In other words, when you feel the freshness of the expansion of your idea, even before the manifestation, long before the circumstances and events have lined up to show you the way, just the fact that life has given you the desire is what you were born for, because you understand at your non-physical level that the idea is creation. Now, many of our physical friends, we can feel it happening all over the room, say, uh-oh, we're in the wrong room. Because whoever this is seems to think that it should be jolly enough for us to have the idea of something, and that the manifestation of same should not be significant. And we say, that is what we say, because you are vibrational beings, and the idea of it, provided all of the ideas within you are lined up, will give you a joyful moment. But if the idea of it is not enough, and you need the manifestation of it, and the manifestation hasn't happened, and you can't see right now from your vantage point a way to cause the manifestation to happen, so now there's discord. You would call it disappointment or uneasiness or fear. If you're in that place where your desire has been hatched within you, but your belief or understanding has not caught up with it, then we can see how that uneasiness would make you say, no, Abraham, I want the manifestation of it, because when I want it and I've got it, now things are all right. And we say, you just have to want it and not oppose the wanting with your worry, and you will have the equivalent of the same joy that you will have in the having of it. So then you say, we can hear you. Let's see, do I have this right? So I want it and I don't have it, but I don't notice that I don't have it. I'm just joyful about the wanting of it, and that should be enough. And we say, well, it will feel good. And when you accomplish that balance, then the manifestation has to come. And you say, oh, so this is the trick we do to make the manifestation happen. We want it, we don't doubt it. We want it, we believe it. We want it, we imagine it. We want it, we feel good about wanting it. And if we do that, then we'll get it. And we say yes. But if your ulterior motive is to get it, then you introduce back into the equation the discord at not having it. Do you see what we're getting at? If you could really be in your physical form, brilliant, beautiful beings that you are, extensions of source energy, if you could be the vibrational being that you are, and if you could think about lining up the energy, if you could think about thinking the thoughts that make you feel good, if you could think about what you want, and you could teach yourself, coax yourself into a way of thinking about these currently not yet manifested desires in a way that the desire feels fresh and good to you, then not only would you have a continually joyful life, but then in time you'll find the rhythm where life will cause you to ask, and the means to accomplishing the asking will be right on the heels of the asking. It already is. You just prevent it from coming in all the way. You see, when you ask for anything, and you do it all day, every day, when life causes you to give birth to another rocket of desire, Source immediately follows that rocket. Now, it's hard for you to see that because you don't in your physical form have the vantage point of that which is Source. In other words, it's hard for you from your physical experience where you are so aware of things that you're translating through your physical senses. It's hard for you to even contemplate the idea of being mostly a vibrational being, but you are. And by that we mean when you realize that you are Source energy in a physical body, and that in your physical body you are actually an extension of Source, and in your physicalness, as you explore contrast and new ideas occur to you at many levels of your being of what would make life better for you, as those ideas occur to you at conscious and unconscious levels, you emit a vibration that the larger vibrational part of you joins completely in thought. In other words, if you're sick, you automatically want wellness. And even though most of you are clamoring about how you don't like being sick and complaining about the discomfort of the sickness, in that moment you are emitting rockets of desire about wellness. And the Source within you, some call it God, some call it soul. We refer to that part of you as the inner being. That part of you gives undivided attention to the wellness that you have asked for. When you don't have enough of something that you want, you ask for more, and the Source within you turns undivided attention to what you're asking for. So even before you got here, there was a vibrational escrow of expectation of the Source part of you that was the dominant part of the unfolding of your experience. That's why well-being is such more dominant than not well-being. But now you're here in this physical body all day, every day, exploring contrast and giving birth to rockets of desires. The Source within you is benefiting and expanding because of those rockets. So we want to call your attention to the fact that you were Source energy before you came into this body, and you are still Source energy even though a part of you is in this body, and there are these two vibrational vantage points going on at all times. When you croak, we love that disrespectful word since there is no death. When you leave this physical body, you will reemerge completely into this one energy stream, into this one vibrational perspective. But before you do that, long before you do that, while you are still here in this physical body, that part of you is still the dominant part of that which you are. So it's not just the energy that you were before you were born, it's the Source energy vantage point of creation that you have become because of what you've been living here. Can you sort of kind of get that? You in your physical form are causing you, the expanded version of you, to evolve. And every negative emotion that you feel, no matter whether you call it despair or something lighter like frustration, every negative emotion you feel is because your in this moment thought vantage point is not matching the vantage point of the Source within you. So when you realize you were born with this magnificent guidance that helps you to bring constant alignment between who you are in your physical form and who you really are, then you begin to understand what you've been feeling all of the days of your life. When someone you care about deceives you, and you know it, and you hear the deception, and you feel that uncomfortable feeling in the pit of you because you're being lied to and you know it, when you feel that, that feeling is not Source or guidance. That's not a warning bell going off saying stay away from that person. It's not a warning bell going off saying something bad or wrong is happening here. That's a warning bell going off because your observation of this person's behavior is causing you to conclude something about them that the Source within you would not conclude. Anytime you see someone as less than, you deviate from the Source within you. Anytime you do something other than love someone, you deviate from the vibration of the Source within you. When you find fault with yourself or someone else, you deviate from the Source perspective within you. When you feel unworthy, when you proclaim yourself incapable or not good good at something, when you put yourself down or someone else down, when you look at the world and see its flaws or find worrisome things about it, the reason those things feel the way they do is because you have deviated from what who you really are knows. When you listen to CNN or others, there are a few others, who go all around the world looking for evidence of not well-being and exaggerate it in incredible proportion and deliver it to you with dramatic music and graphics. And you feel the discord about what you're seeing, which is a portrayal of reality, and you say, well, it's real and it's bad, or it's real and it's awful. The reason you feel that way is not because of the awfulness of it. The reason you feel that way is because of the deviation in your vibration from how the source within you sees it. Because source does not look at what's wrong with your world. Source gives undivided attention to the new and improved version that you are constantly giving birth to. We want you to try to get a sense of the probable future that has been already created by the past and present creators like you here in this physical environment. Do you know when you worry about the economy, you ask for it to be better, and vibrationally it is? How do you think economy expands? How do you think you've expanded from trading beads and fur and shells into what you've got going on today? Has more resource been trucked in? No. Have you dug more of it up? A bit more, but nothing like what you are experiencing in terms of your global economy. It's all about ideas. Everything is about energy. And every moment of your life and the way you feel in it is about nothing other than your vibrational relationship. The two vibrational vantage points that you have, this expanded version, which was you before you were born, and it's the expanded version that has come about since you've been here, and what you're thinking about this red hot minute in this moment where all of your power is. Do you know that right now is where all of your power is? And do you know why? Because right now is the juncture where you can focus your thoughts in alignment with what you've become or not. In other words, it's the gate to all that you desire. And it's the gateway to all that has been put in that vibrational escrow by those who have come before. In other words, everyone who has been living here in this environment where you are focused has been living and asking and living and asking and living and asking and living and asking. Step one, step one, step one, step one, step one. And source has been answering. We're not kidding you. We mean it so much we gave the book the title, Ask and It Is Given. Every time, no exceptions. Ask and it is given. Step one, step two, immediately. Step one, step two, immediately. Step one, step two, immediately. No exceptions. The question worth asking yourselves is, if I've asked and it's been given, we hear you all the time, then where's my stuff? And we say, your stuff is in the balance between the vibrational crack of your asking for something you want and you're expecting it to be. Your stuff is in that gap between what you've asked for and what your chronic patterns of vibrational habits of thought are. In other words, when you expect something that you want, there's no deviation in the vibration of it, and it has to be, and we mean it already is, but now it has to be in a way that you can define it and see it. It's already done. The question is, how close to its vibrational interpretation, which is what manifestation is, are you? When you want more money and want more money and want